And welcome back to Friday Night Live, the spring into summer sports edition, and brought to you by the Hy-Vee High School headquarters, where Hy-Vee proudly supports the student athletes, coaches, officials, and teachers of Iowa high schools. Hy-Vee, making life easier, healthier, and happier. For all of you Iowa Barnstormers fans, are getting ready to take on Spokane tonight at the Wells Fargo Arena, and Larry Kotler will have the play-by-play following our Friday Night Live spring into summer edition show. So stay tuned for that. But if you are, when the Barnstormers are on the road, where you want to go for the game watch is Bennigan's Grill and Tavern, connected to the Des Moines Airport Hotel on Army Post Road, the only place in town to get to the great Fucalaro's famous pizza, the best pizza on the south side, and home again for the Iowa Barnstormers game watch parties when the Iowa Barnstormers are on the road. That's Bennigan's Grill and Tavern, connected to the Des Moines Airport Hotel on Army Post Road. We're going to continue on our conversations with great affiliates. In the studio with me tonight, our producer as always is Ben Carroll. On the TV side, Aaron Gurnis. And a special guest shadowing us tonight out of Logan Magnolia. You'll see her at the Drake Track and Field Championships, the Drake Relays possibly. I'm saying guaranteed. And also at the State Track and Field Championships, the co-ed meet. It's Alex Gochenour from Logan Magnolia. Alex, again, I hope you're having fun tonight.
Oh, this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
Now, you see what I'm saying. It's not about the money, but it's about enjoying your job, right?
Exactly. This is fun. I like fun.
Now, you are going to be going to LSU to become a Bayou Bengal, as they say, or a Tiger. How much influence did Lolo Jones have in your life?
A lot. She's my idol. You know, you look up to her when she hit the hurdle at the Olympics. And after she handled herself so well, you know, that inspires you. So if you do that, you handle yourself like Lolo.
Now, expectations this year are high. How much pressure do you put on yourself, or is it? Do you worry about the outside expectations?
I put more pressure on myself than other people put on me. It's always been that way. I always expect a lot out of myself, sometimes maybe a little too much. But, you know, I try to just calm down, do what I do, you know, go out there and be the best I can.
Now, track and field, especially the track side, I find it one of those sports that people who love to run or compete kind of sometimes get a little overindulgent in it and maybe don't give their bodies time. Do you understand that part? I mean, do you give yourself time to kind of regroup and refresh yourself?
Yeah. You have to train hard, but at the same time, you have to rest. You have to, you know, you got to give, before a meet, so many days. You got to taper off. You got to give your body time to, you know, get strong and healthy, because you can't run down.
Now, if you have to watch your diets, I'm sure, and your food groups and different things to build up for that. What's the one that you eat a lot of but you're really not a big fan of?
Well, I'd probably be a lot better if I did watch my diet. I'm kind of the Taco Bell girl. Train on the bell. I guess I've been trying to eat healthy, you know, eat my fruits and vegetables, which never has been a problem with me. You know, I'm the girl who's always liked Brussels sprouts and broccoli. I'm a weirdo.
I like that stuff too. So when you look back, I mean, now you're a senior. I mean, think back to when you were, did you see this moment ever coming when you were that little girl who started running track?
Yes, but it's bittersweet because, you know, when you're a freshman, I just want to be a senior. I just want to be out of here. Now that I'm a senior, I still want to be out of here. But it's kind of like, wow, this is my last year. Like, it kind of, like, makes you want to, like, cry a little bit. It's one of those bittersweet things where you wanted it for so long, but now that it's here, you kind of like, oh, can I go back to my freshman year and relive all these experiences that I've had? But
we were kind of talking it off the air, and you know, these experiences running at the Drake Relays, life's memories, all the friends and people you've met through the years there. Every year you come back, and there's some faces you probably don't see until you come back to Drake Stadium, and it's like you've never gone away from each other. Talk about those memories that you've made.
Well, you get to know a lot of the officials. Yeah. And then the girls from like the opposite side of the states, when you get to see those, it's cool because you're friendly with them, but at the same time you got to keep in that competitive side. But I don't know, it's hard for me because I like to buddy up with everybody, but you got to keep focused on the race to hand because they want to beat you as bad as you want to beat them.
Now, and also we kind of discussed it a little bit, and, you know, Lolo Jones, who is your idol, who went to LSU, who you're going to hope to follow footsteps of, which is huge spikes to follow, I guess you should say. But, you know, through all of her success and all of her dreams, and everybody knows she's the best at in her events, but yet she had some of those failures. and humbled her a lot, and the world fell in love with her. Do you understand that part of the sport that you're in? Because, I mean, sometimes as a high school kid, you've been on top of the mountain, you're expected to win, and you win most of those events that you do compete in. Are you humbled, and do you understand that sometimes it's not going to go your way?
Yeah, nobody is unbeatable. It doesn't matter how great you are. Somewhere along the line, you're not going to be at your best, and somebody's going to beat you. And that's okay. It's not going to feel the best, but, that keeps you hungry. That keeps you wanting more. That keeps you training hard. It humbles you. It keeps you focused. It keeps your head from exploding, I guess.
I mean, I don't know how it would be, because I wasn't that good of an athlete. I mean, to hear somebody every day tell you how great you are, it's got to be kind of difficult sometimes to swallow.
Sometimes, your head gets a little big, but you got to think, okay, calm down. You're not the greatest yet. You still have those hurdles maybe that you need to go, and you just gotta, you just can't think that, I'm unbeatable, because as soon as you start thinking that way, somebody's gonna beat you, and then you're just gonna crumble, and you're done.
We're talking to Alex Gochenour, one of the outstanding young ladies you'll see on the tracks across the state this year, and especially once it comes to Des Moines at the Drake Relays in the Blue Oval, and also at the Iowa State Girls and Boys Co-ed State Track and Field Championships. And Alex, when you look back, first all started at the Drake Relays. It's like, look at me, I'm the winner. And that you've seen some growth and some maturity now as you look. I saw you last year, your face, looking back and soaking in. I know you said you were looking for your dad and your mom, but the crowd. Drake Relays is a special place to run, and I know you look back at the crowd. And did you soak that in the last few times more than when you were younger?
Yeah, because when I was younger, I did the same thing. I was looking up at the crowd looking for my dad, and last year I was looking up the crowd at my dad, and it just brought me back to when I was younger, and what a great experience it all was, and how amazing it was, just the feeling, and just you want to soak it in, never forget that.
Well, the owner of the Iowa Sports Connection, the guy who should have been sitting in this chair tonight but gave me the opportunity to do it, because he knows my time on this air is probably short-lived because you're going to take it over. But I figured I got 12 years because you got college to go to and a couple of Olympics, hopefully, huh?
Yeah.
So it'll be 12 years before I have to worry about it. But Mike Rickard joins us. Mike, how are you tonight, brother?
Hey, Alex, I was kicked out of the reality is I was kicked out of the studio tonight by Tony and Cindy for you, and after listening to the show, you have a permanent position in there anytime you want, because you're a lot smoother and a lot more energy than I ever thought about being. And if you want to be in there with me sometime, we'll kick that old redhead next to you completely out of the studio. But, hey, you sound great, and I just wanted to call and congratulate you on your success and the fact that you're going down to LSU, and I'm sure your family's looking forward to that.
Well, thank you. I'm a little nervous, I gotta admit.
Well, of course you are, but you don't sound nervous on the radio, I can assure you that.
Good. I'm hiding it well.
Yeah, I'll get out of the way, but I just wanted to let you know that as fluid and smooth as you are, you've got a career in broadcasting. Maybe someday we'll be listening to you as you break down Olympic trials on ESPN.
Heck yeah!
Oh boy!
Oh man!
She's got a little Lolo in her, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does. Take care, Mike. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity, brother. And Mike Rickard, of course, the host of Friday Night Live and the owner of the Iowa Sports Connection, and just a great guy to work for. And he misses. I knew he's sitting there and he was jonesing. Got a call. I got to get on the show.
I know how that is.
Yeah. So, okay, we talked about your Drake Relays experience, the co-ed state track and field championships. As a high school athlete here in the state of Iowa, I know as a fan, you kids are really treated like queens and kings compared to other states where, you look at the fans in the stands. The best thing I think the association and the union did years ago was to put both the girls and the guys on the same track together, because it brought the track fans together and brought that stadium full of that enthusiasm that you
energy.
as athletes need. Quite frankly, I think it was the greatest thing that ever happened. What did you think?
It's great because you feed off that energy when you're going down that home stretch and your legs are maybe a little fatigued because you've had prelims and maybe it's your last race, and you just hear that crowd yelling and that energy. It makes you run better. It makes you forget that pain that you're going through, and you just finish the race.
Now, the trash cans are strategically placed around. You know where that was going, don't you?
I know where that is after 400 hurdles.
Because I've learned as a reporter when I first started, waiting to get you guys right off the track, I learned, you know what, take the step back.
Yeah, around the trash cans probably isn't the best strategic place to stand. Especially after those 400 hurdles or like 800s or those crazy 2 miles. Yeah.
Well, here it's in the state of Iowa, you're competing now nationally outside of the state, and last year in the junior games and the junior nationals in the heptathlon, and that included throwing the stick, as we say, the spear, and some other things that you don't really compete in during your regular track season because you're focused on your hurdles or whatever. But talk about what made you decide to want to get involved in the heptathlon, because that's what, when it's all said and done, you're going to be doing at LSU.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was younger, a person on my club team, the Cornhusker Flyers, told me that I should try the pentathlon at the AAU Nationals, which was at Drake Stadium that year. So me being gung-ho for anything, said okay. So I started learning how to throw the shot, working on my 800, because before that I was a 200 meter and that was it. Pure sprinter. And just kept working on that summer. Went to the AAU Nationals and ended up winning it. My first time ever doing a multi-event, and I just stuck with it because it's just fun. You get to hang out that whole day with a group of girls who you get to know, because every single Nationals you go to, they're there. So you really make friendships, and then it's just fun because there's so many different events that you get to do throughout the day. It's not just, one event and you're done. It's the variety that just keeps it fun and interesting.
Now, I'm guessing you're a very organized person in real life, because if you're going to be coming and going to a heptathlon those 2 days, you've got to organize your mind. I mean, you've got the one event, you got to focus, think through what you're going to do step by step, what your dreams are, what your goals are to make that event, and then you got to get yourself a little bit of a break, I'm guessing, and then get your mind focused on that next event you're going to be competing for. So that has to keep you pretty organized instead of scrambling everything together.
Yeah, you got to take it step by step. You got to stay as organized as you possibly can, which is a little bit of a struggle for me. But, you just take it step by step. You do the hurdles. You take that 30-minute break you get in between, then you're a high jumper. You take your 30-minute break, and then you're a thrower. You just got to keep your mind on the task at hand. You just can't start thinking, oh, my gosh, I got to do this next and this. You just got to stay focused on the event that you're on.
Well, let me ask you a question, because let's say there's a lot of young ladies and guys out there, that enjoy the sport. 6 years ago, the last place I wanted to go is to be in track and field. And before we take a break here, and go watch the event, and I fell in love with it, and I'm not missing it anymore. Drake Relays, State Co-Ed, I'm there, I'm sold. And then all the other events that have been coming to Drake Stadium, I've been a part of. What do you tell a young person who has never ran track, or is maybe interested in track but not quite sure what to expect, and what brought you to it, the love you have, and what they should do if they want to really get involved into it?
Well, you have to love running, and there's going to be some pain. Obviously, it's one of the most physical sports, but you just gotta just love it. You gotta put your whole heart in it, and if you do put your whole heart in it, if you get through that pain, you're going to have rewards, and who knows, you might make it to the Olympics when you're older. It's
about dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to follow your dream.
That'll be it. We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll continue on with more Friday Night Live here on the Iowa Sports Connection radio and television network after this timeout.